Mr. Williams, you claim 4 years ago you had a one-night stand with the defendant, Ms. Davis, and today you're here to prove you didn't father her 3-year-old son, Charles. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Additionally, you are suing Ms. Davis for conversion. You claim she sold your 1994 Pontiac Firebird valued at $2,500 without your permission.
That's correct.
Ms. Davis, you are certain Mr. Williams is the father and claim he's denying your son to get out of his responsibility.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Williams, so why did you wait so long to get a DNA test?
I just found out about 3 months ago.
This child is 3 years old?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you just found out 3 months ago that you potentially could be this child's father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
I met Miss Davis about 4 years ago at a party atmosphere and everything. We partied, ended up spending the night together that night.
So it was, in your mind, a one-night stand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you use protection?
Because I was inebriated and it was 4 years ago, I'm not positive that I did use protection now.
All right. Ms. Davis, I need you to take me back to this night and get to how this man is just finding out about this baby 3 months ago.
Okay, at the time I was in a relationship, so I was for certain that my boyfriend was my child father.
How did you get to the point where you got a boyfriend, but you're at this party and having a one-night stand with Mr. Williams?
We was broken up, but we wasn't. We was split it for a couple of days.
Okay.
And I was just mingling, and that's when I met Mr. Williams.
It's always on the break, Ron. Always the break. How are you so certain he's the father?
For one,
She's not. Can I submit this?
Yes, you may.
I noticed that he was a junior.
Ron, will you hand me that evidence, please?
He's a junior, but his birth father didn't sign the birth certificate. So that right there gave me a lot of suspicion.
The man was not for certain that he was my son's father.
Okay, so he refused because he had doubts
Yes.
as to whether or not he was
Yes.
truly the biological father.
Yes.
But you named him after him anyway.
Yes.
That's why I'm so suspicious about it, because I can only do so much as far as stepping up, as far as being proactive as an alleged baby daddy. You know what I mean? Like, what else can I do? If I'm already going to work, I'm already spending time with him, I've already relocated states because of, the situation. All
right, let me get my calendar so I can understand this. So when was Charles Jr. born?
June 1st of 2013.
Okay. Now, when did you say you had intimate relationships with the plaintiff? When was that one-night stand with Mr. Williams?
Around the ending of September going into October.
The end of September going into October. So this is Mr. Williams. All right. Now, anybody else? That's what I need to ask.
Yes, it was another man.
There was?
Yes.
So there was another man that you had sex with as well?
Yes.
During the window of conception?
Yes.
When was that?
The beginning of September.
So this calendar is full. Before I go further, is there anyone else besides the other man?
No, Your Honor.
3?
Your Honor, it would have to be at least 3 or 4 other people that she was intimate with during that time, during that window of conception.
Why do you say that?
She's accusing me of being the father of her son. He's named after another gentleman. He doesn't respond to that name. In the few months that I've known about him, I've spent time with him, taking him out to play and all of this. He doesn't respond to the name that he's given. He responds to the 3 different other names. He calls me another name.
What?
So that's what I mean. There's so much confusion in there. It has to be more than just, okay, that was 2, that was 3 people. But
so you named your son after the boyfriend you were on break from?
Yes.
So, okay.
And I mean,
I'm not trying to pin nothing on Mr. Williams. However,
Yes,
I just want to, figure out the situation.
You need to know for your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you do. And he deserves to know.
Yes.
The
Mr.
thing
Williams.
about it is, Your Honor, when I found out, I was living in Minnesota. I was living in a completely different state. We're from the Midwest. And so whenever I found out, I told her, okay, don't stress too much about it. I don't live in that state anymore, but this is serious enough for me to come there and to get things situated.
Okay.
This woman's accusing me of being her child's father. If I'm going back and forth to work since I've known, and I'm taking her to doctor's appointments, I'm taking her to meet her lawyer, I'm taking her to get food for the house, I'm taking him around my family within 3 months of knowing this, And then while I'm at work,
he's not yours.
While I'm doing all of this, my car breaks down in front of her house. I asked for permission to park my car in the back until I can get the part at the end of the week when I get my paycheck. So I got my paycheck, and I'm ready to go get my car because I got other business to take care of, and my car's gone. Nobody knows where it's at. Nobody knows what happened to it. But I know someone does because I have my. Could I present this?
Yes, you
also?
may. Ron, hand me that evidence. What is it you're presenting, sir?
I'm presenting the blue book value of my car and also my insurance and the title showing that my car was insured. The car belonged to me and only me.
So what happened to the car, Ms. Davis?
I don't know anything about a car. I don't know.
So you don't remember the car being in front of your house?
No, I don't.
Your Honor,
she says she doesn't remember a car in front of her.
He don't have evidence that I sold his car. He don't have no kind of proof that I did.
Did you ever ride in the car?
Yeah.
So you knew which car it was. And then the next thing you know, it was gone. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. He's saying you sold it. You're saying you did not sell it. Someone's saying it was stolen, but no one reported it stolen. So I'm saying this don't make sense.
If you're accusing me of being your child's father, why would you have show no sympathy, no remorse, not even any concern that my only means of transportation where I can do something for my alleged son?
Okay, so. Okay, I get that, Your Honor, but why would Mr. Williams feel like he can just come into my son's life and then just disappear when he wants to? If you felt like this wasn't your son, I feel you shouldn't even came around until we got everything established.
When did he disappear when he wanted to?
When Miss Bryant
had to take me back and forth to work because she sold my car.
And a whole girlfriend that don't have anything to do with...
Okay, all right, so now we getting down to the nitty gritty. So you got annoyed because when you called him and said you potentially have a child,
yes,
he showed up to try to be in the child's life.
Yes, he did.
But he showed up with company.
Right, but he was staying in my mother's house every day with me and my son. So if me, personally, if you feel like you're not a father of a child, why are you around?
Why not? That doesn't make sense. Why not?
If you knew you didn't have a DNA test result, why would you even play father or a role of a child that you feel not yours?
Okay, hold on now. I'm not understanding why you are so angry with him.
I'm not
let's be
angry
honest.
with Mr. Williams.
No, let's be honest though. The child's 3 years old. This man, in my estimation, has done a lot more than some men I've seen.
And I understand that, Your Honor.
To potentially be a part of this child's life. The mere fact that the car broke down in front of your mother's house is evidence to me, and you both testified to that, is evidence to me he was coming over there. Now you're saying he was staying over there.
Yes.
Got it. So what's
with
wrong
her boyfriend?
with that?
She had a boyfriend at the time living there while I was there.
I want to hear from your witness, sir. I need to understand this full story. Ma'am, please stand and step up to the podium. State your name for the court.
Yes, ma'am. LaQuante Bryant.
Miss Bryant, you are Mr. Williams' girlfriend?
Yes,
current
ma'am.
girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you or do you not believe this is Mr. Williams'
I don't
son?
believe it.
You
I
don't believe it?
Because they had took a test, a home kit test, that was supposed to be back in 2 days. Mrs. Davis told us it takes 2.5 weeks to get the test back. But on the box it said 2 days. She finally said she got the test back 2.5 weeks later, come on over here, come and get it. We're expecting to come over there and get a paper saying, hey, this is your son for Mr. Eddie Williams. She gives us a phony email address that is not even registered at all. When we put it in there, it says no account found. So it's no account under that name. So we call her back. She kind of has an attitude, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's it. That's what I tell you. Just kind of silly acting. Instead of, to me, if you are for sure that is Mr. Williams' son, it ain't nothing to say, here you go. Here you go. I would have printed it off myself. I ain't gonna give you my personal information.
So you're saying she gave you account information?
Account information.
But
For what?
To get the results that
Ourselves.
she was given.
Correct.
So the account information, you got it. So it was what? An email address
Yes,
and
ma'am.
a
and a password.
and a
That's
password.
phony.
That was phony.
That didn't exist.
Whew. Goodness, yes.
Ron, what are you holding? What is this
yes,
evidence
I have
you're holding?
evidence. Can I submit it
Ron,
to the court,
can you get
please?
that for me, please?
I apologize. It's really sad. Because just like I'm giving it to you, that's how
it's
it should have
sad
been.
that you
It should've
sitting
been.
here, you in a relationship with him, but see you being a woman and providing him 4450 for a DNA test.
You
that
sold his car. You got 4450. How many times? How many times can
I've been and had it, and I
go
still
into
have it.
$2,000?
But the agreement
Right.
was he should have provided
Come
the
on now.
4450 for the test.
Well, he didn't. Because
Okay.
All right,
Well,
let's
there's
get
more.
some order, ladies. Let's get
makes
some
no
order.
sense.
So,
Make no
Ms. Bryant,
Fuck you, Evie.
Ms. Bryant, hold on. I want to understand your testimony. You get this email and password. I see this here. There's an email address.
Because I never even turned
My point
the
exactly.
test in.
My
So
point
when did I show
exactly.
you the results?
Oh, you
Oh,
never
wait a
turned
minute.
it in.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wait a
Come
minute. Ms. Davis, you said what?
I never turned the test in.
That is
But
sad.
she's ready. She's ready to put me on child support.
How am
And
I
she
ready
wonder
to
why
put
I
you
don't
on
trust.
child support and I can't even put you on
Ms.
child
Davis,
support?
wait a minute.
But
So
at
why,
the
Ms.
test,
Davis, so why go through the whole trouble of giving them this email address and this password if you never turn the test in? So the whole story about you getting the results via email was a lie?
It wasn't a lie.
It just
Mr.
wasn't the
Williams,
truth.
right. Mr. Williams knew that he had to pay the $44.50.
No, we're not talking about 44.
Okay.
We're talking about the result.
Okay. Miss Lawrence.
Did you tell them that you had a result?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Like I said, Your Honor, I know for a fact that he's not my son. He's not my child.
Are you for sure? So was you or was you not born with an extra finger? Was you or was you not?
I know I wasn't born with you.
See, he
I'm not gonna
entertain
entertain
Was you or was
none
you
of
not
that.
born
Okay,
with an extra
okay.
finger?
All right, listen. I want to understand all the testimony. Before I move on to the next set of proofs, I just want to understand. What you're saying, Ms. Bryan, is when you got this email address and this password and you logged on, it what?
It wasn't even an account.
It wasn't an account. It
No,
was a
not at all.
phony account. And now we understand why she gave you a phony account, and I can see you are getting very upset.
Right. Yes.
But she's admitted that she never turned the test in, so she couldn't give you a real account because there was no test done.
That's why we called you.
Now, Ms. Davis, you started talking about some physical proof.
Yes. My son was born with 2 extra fingers, and I have evidence of the nubs of everything of my child. May I give that to you?
Yes,
Ms.
please.
Lawrence?
Ron, let me see Ms. Davis's evidence.
There you go.
Thank you. So your child is born with what they call a 6th finger, which really looks like a little bump on the side of
Right,
his hand.
because when he was 3 weeks old, the doctor put some little strings around it, and they fell off.
Yes. Yes.
So my baby was born with each one on each finger, and Mr. Williams have one on his left hand.
So in your mind, that furthered your belief that Mr. Williams is your child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor, it did.
I mean, I will acknowledge the birth trace, but my mother doesn't have those. My father doesn't have those. So that's no proof that that's my son. I can't say, well, I got this, my dad must have it, or my mother must have one. Neither one of my parents have those. So that doesn't prove anything.
Okay. As for this conversion claim, Mr. Williams, I have listened to the testimony. Cars just don't disappear. But I have not heard any proof that she actually sold it. I have listened, I've listened to her, I've listened to you. I don't know what happened to the car. But unfortunately, you have not presented enough evidence to this court to prove that she was responsible for its disappearance or it being sold. So for that reason, I have to dismiss your suit.
That's fine.
All right? Moving on. Ron,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready for the results.
Here you go, Judge.
Thank you, sir. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Williams v. Davis, when it comes to 3-year-old Charles, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Williams, you are the father.
Wow.
Is that joy?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay.
Because
No, I just want to make sure because you know we don't do
She knows
clowning.
I'm responsible enough
But
to
is
take care
that
of
joy
That's
that it
why.
is finally out?
Yes,
She lucked up.
yes, it is. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Wow.
it. And I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Mr. Williams, how do you feel?
I'm a little irritated because now I have another child to deal with for 18 years, and I'm not talking about Charles, my son, but I'm excited because me and my son do have a connection already. So more about her happiness is gonna be his future, and that's what I'm focused on.
Good. Ms. Brown, you're here today suing your mother for $2,200 for emotional distress. You say she's caused you by not knowing who your biological father is.
Yes,
Now, the
Your Honor.
court has located one possible father and must determine if there is enough evidence to order a paternity test. Ms. Brown Overstreet, you admit to making mistakes as a mother, but claim you shouldn't be held accountable in court for your daughter's pain.
Yes, Your Honor.
You hope there's enough evidence presented today to prove that the man in court today is your daughter's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Brown, how does it feel to be suing your mother?
Not as bad as it felt growing up.
Okay.
Like,
We want the truth in this courtroom.
my mom she wasn't there as much as she should have been there. I asked her on several occasions, do you know who my father could be? My mama just said, I don't know, I don't know. Every time I asked, it was, I don't know, I don't know. She gave me, actually, I have a list of men. It's about 6 or 7 guys.
67?
About 6 or 7.
I said, wait a minute now. Okay, Jerome, please hand me this list. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So she gave you 6 or 7 names
Yes, Your Honor.
of possible fathers.
Yes, Your Honor. What
Are they ranked in order of probability?
No, ma'am, they're not, Your Honor. One of them, we had to do a DNA test, and it turned out he wasn't my father.
And is he listed on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one is he?
He's the first one?
The man in the Navy,
Yes.
Lee.
Yes, Your Honor.
not the father, proven by a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the man Clifton Smith, who's in our court today, has not been tested yet.
No, Your Honor. I never knew who could be my father. I didn't know who he could be. I didn't know who he was. I was in and out of foster care on 3 different occasions. Foster care wasn't so good. You know, I had 4 brothers and a sister. I didn't know where they were. They got split up too. My grandmother got us back. She got sick. I missed 3 months of school, got kicked out. I was in alternative school. I got kicked out because my grandma got sick and I had to take care of her.
And so what level of school did you finish, hon?
9th grade.
You went to the 9th grade.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you had to take care of your grandmother.
Yes, ma'am. And take care of my brothers.
Miss Brown Overstreet, how does it feel to hear your daughter speak with such pain in her heart? I mean, it's difficult to even say to another mother, but that your daughter blames you.
I feel like my daughter hates me because of the fact that I wasn't always there, and I didn't have a handbook on how to be a parent. I had my kids young, and it was 6. I have 6 of them, so it wasn't like it was just one child. I had a hard time trying to be a mother. I didn't know how to raise my kids, and when I lost custody of them, I tried my best to get them back, and I kind of gave up on myself. I can admit that I was young and I was wild, and I was kind of promiscuous, so I did not know who her father was.
Did you approach any of those men and say, I'm pregnant and I think you're the father, or you just left them all alone?
I just left them all alone.
So, Miss Brown, please tell the court, what was life like without a father, growing up without a father in your life?
Your Honor, it was hard. I mean, I can barely sit up and describe how hard my life has been. Not only without a father, without my mom. I remember I was about 6 or 7. I had my oldest brother. He was about 3 years older than me. He taught me how to ride a bike. He taught me how to tie my shoe, how to spell. He taught me basically everything I know. And I admit she did a little of some of what she was supposed to, but I guess she felt that giving me money would erase all the past memories that I had because of her. She used to give me money all the time. Money don't pay for, money is not gonna pay for what I went through. I was tormented as a child.
You say you were tormented,
Tormented.
living without your father
Yes, Your Honor.
and your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say she's caused you extreme emotional distress.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell your mother how you feel.
I feel like it's a possibility that my life could have been better if I knew who my dad was. And maybe he could have saved me from everything that happened. And maybe I wouldn't have never went to foster care
I'm sorry. I never
if he
meant,
had been in my life.
I never meant for that to happen to you, though. But I gave up on myself, so I didn't even know what you was going through.
But when you have kids, sometimes you have to give up on yourself to do for your children.
I understand that, and I'm sorry.
Did you hear your mother say she was sorry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe that she is?
Somewhat I do.
So, when you heard about Mr. Smith,
Yes, Your Honor.
take me to that day when you found out about him.
Your Honor, I was working at my hometown, and this guy just show up, and he was like staring at me. I'm like, who is this guy? When I went and got my manager, that's when he tells me, oh, hey, I'm your dad. You're my daughter. Mm-hmm. So I asked my mom when I get off work, I say, it's this guy that came up to my job, Mr. Smith. I told her his name. She said, oh yeah, that might be, it's a possibility that he's your dad. Now, I'm 18 now, I'm grown. Out of all these years, why is he trying to come into my life now? Why are you just now telling me that it's a possibility that he could be my father?
So, were you angry with your mother that she hadn't ever mentioned Mr. Smith's name? Or were you angry with Mr. Smith for trying to come and find you after all these years? Or both?
I was mad with both of them.
Well, he's here today. I'd like to hear from him. Jerome, please escort Mr. Smith into the courtroom. Hello, Mr. Smith.
How you doing?
Thank you for joining us today. Please, tell the court about the first day you met Ms. Brown.
We go back a long time. So when I called her, she was like that she was trying to find the father of our daughter. I said, wouldn't it be funny if I was the father? And she was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about you. I'm like, you forgot all about me. Then I was adding up the days. If I have a child out there, I want to know. So when I pulled up, I get out the car and my cousin pointed her out, so I was looking at her. And so she came up and I said something to her first, and she was smiling at me like I was trying to flirt with her or something. So I'm like, yo, whoa, hold up here. I might be your father. You busy trying to flirt with me.
Right.
You know, cut it out right there. So as soon as I told that, her expression just changed. I mean, the smile just wiped off her face. Now I'm getting daggers thrown at me. Now I told her I'm going to see her tonight, that this ain't over.
And you are hopeful. You truly are hopeful.
I love her already.
Oh.
You know, it's my big knucklehead. I want her in my life, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there, but it wasn't my fault, you know? And I was listening to what she was saying, what she went through, and it bothered me because I wasn't the father to take care of her, to do what I need to do. So that bothers me a lot, you know? She's my child. I should have been there. No child should be without their parent, you know? And it bothers me. You know? It was a fling when I got with her that summer. And she had a boyfriend at the time, you know. We got together, it was more than once, and I went back home for the summer. I came back for the winter vacation, and I saw her, and I'm like, wow, you look a little fat there. She says to me, I ain't fat, I'm pregnant. Next thing came out of my mouth, well, who's the father? She said, don't worry about it ain't you.
So she told you it was not you.
So that's why I didn't think nothing of it no more. You know, I really didn't. Because like I said, I tried to stand up right then and there. I did what I did, and I had to just be a man about the whole thing and take care of my responsibilities. And that's why I'm here. You know, take care of what's mine, that's all.
Good, that's good to hear. You stated in your court papers, though, that you have reason to have doubt. Oh. And you just stated in court today that she had a boyfriend during the time you slept with her.
Oh, yes. Okay, my reason is when I was 10 years old, I hurt myself really bad. I got the picture evidence to show you. Hurt myself really bad.
What happened?
You know what a folding couch is? A couch that turned into a bed?
Yes.
Well, I was folding it back into a couch. My underwear got hooked on a spring, and I yanked it, but it went in a lot more on my underwear and just ripped everything open.
Oh, goodness.
I got, you know.
Let me see that evidence,
and
Jerome.
I didn't remember him. That was the problem. It was horrible. So I didn't remember even having sex with him. So it wasn't my fault that I didn't remember. He probably remembered it, but I didn't remember it.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
This is a photo of your genitalia.
Oh, God, Your Honor. Your Honor.
I know that's funny.
And your concern is that you're unable to have children because of this injury.
Well, the doctor told me when I get old, I might not be able to.
So you were told by a medical professional you may not be able to have
they
children.
Said may not 100%. May not. It's not 100%
May.
to me. Exactly.
What we need to do is to determine whether or not a paternity test needs to be ordered in light of this evidence regarding your injury. So the court has asked a medical expert to come and share some light on this. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Gator into the courtroom? Dr. Gator is from the Rise Men's Medical Clinic.
Up on the witness stand.
And she's a board-certified family medical physician. Hi, Dr. Gator. Thank you so much for being with us. So, you've reviewed the evidence in this case.
Yes.
Mr. Smith contends that he had a serious injury and the doctor told him he may not be able to have children because of this. We are trying to determine whether it's even appropriate to order a DNA test. Can you shed light on the likelihood and the injury?
I believe I can. It's absolutely possible, in my opinion, for Mr. Smith or someone with a testicular injury such as him to father a child. Nature often gives us two of what's important. And here's why. On average, a man releases anywhere between 50 million and 1 billion sperm at a time. So if one testicle isn't functioning, you can cut that number in half to say 25 million. Fertility doesn't become an issue until that number drops below 10 million. So based on the numbers, it's definitely possible for someone with a testicular injury to still father a child as long as the swimmers are normal and healthy.
All right. So, in this case, you therefore could potentially be Ms. Brown's father. And for this reason, the court is going to order a DNA test and order you to submit to that test so we can get this young woman the answers she deserves. Jerome, please escort them out of the courtroom. You're going to head to the lab immediately. Court is adjourned. I'll see you back here. We're back in session in the case of Brown versus Brown Overstreet. Welcome back, everyone. So you've submitted to the DNA testing, am I correct?
Yes.
Then I have the results here for you today. Before I get to those results, I have to ask you what your hopes are for today. Ms. Brown?
I hope that when I leave here, I have answers to what I have been trying to find answers to my whole life. I also hope that I can get back into a GED program or any kind of program to help me get my diploma or either my GED. And I also hope to get a better communication, you know, between me and my mom.
All right. Jerome, the results, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
Your Honor, could I hold a hand? Could I go hold
Absolutely.
Her? Thank you. Come on, Richard.
In the case of Brown versus Brown Overstreet, when it comes to 22-year-old Shantia Brown, it has been determined by this court. When it comes to 22-year-old Shantia Brown, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Smith, you are not Shantia's father. I'm sorry. Ms. Brown, you okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Smith? I know you had hopes.
So I still love her. It's cool. She's still my baby, right? You know I love you.
It's difficult sometimes when you want to give people the result they want to hear. That would seem to wipe away all the pain of the past and everything that they've been through. And yet I'm unable to do so because the truth is absolute. It's what it is. Ms. Brown, as hurt as I know you are, and as hurt as I know you've been, I don't see any intention on the part of your mother to cause you emotional distress, nor have you proven to the court that you've suffered any real physical damage because of this. I truly believe she may not, in fact, know who your father is. And for that reason, I have to deny your claim. Judgment for the defendant. Ms. Martin, you say that the father of your 4 kids treats your newborn baby like an evil stepchild.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he doubts paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
And furthermore, you claim that his behavior has forced you to take the kids and leave him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're asking the court to award you $3,100 for the next 6 months of child care expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
I should get
All
that.
right, Mr. Blackman, you argue that Ms. Martin has confessed to cheating with another man and it has left you unsure which of you fathered your youngest child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Martin's lover has also been tested and we will meet him in a
You
moment.
say her lover?
Ms. Martin's lover.
Your lover?
That's what he was at the time.
All right, so Ms. Martin, when did your relationship with Mr. Blackman start to go downhill?
When I stopped feeling loved and appreciated. Like, we have 5 kids together. 6 with his daughter is also my stepchild. I just never felt love appreciated. He always called me fat, you know, you lazy, you nasty, you don't do this, you don't do that. But how can I when I got a man saying all these things to me? Like
I
you
can
expect
only
to
say
come
what
home.
I see. I can only say what I come home to.
Hold on now.
You expect to come home to a cooked meal and all of this. And
Sometime.
I never even got a back rub. I carried and bared 4 children for you.
You never got a, that's the only way I would get some is to give you a back rub.
Exactly.
Right,
so what type
so
of
don't say
man
that
are you,
then.
though?
Don't say that.
What type of man does that make
Don't
you?
say that.
Okay.
Well, what about when I get tired of coming home, seeing you with nasty feet hanging off the couch, the kids running up to me, talking about they hungry.
Oh, Mr. Blackman, really?
He
Yes,
refused.
yes.
When you got all these kids, a pedicure is the last thing on your list. Now, you're in this
Because I gave him an ultimatum. I was ready to get married. I feel like after 6 years, why are you not ready? That's because you exploring your options. Maybe you looking for something better. I don't know. But if that's the case, then let me go.
So you left.
Yes. And he begged me to come back. And now he wants to
I
get
asked you
married.
to come back because it's around Christmas time, and I ain't never spent the Christmas away from my
Whatever.
children.
He could
I
have
ain't
had.
begged you to do nothing.
He could have
All
had
right,
his kids
so
without me.
you left, and while you were gone, you
I
met.
Triandos.
All right, Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
Tell me about that relationship.
I met him. We got drunk. We had sex. And I liked it, and he made me feel good, better than he made me feel ever.
So you were with him for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you feel guilty? Did you miss home?
I didn't feel guilty because he did a lot. He cheated. He's not no saint. I didn't feel guilty because
no saint, but
I
we
was
got
faithful
past
to him.
that though. We got past. We were
faith-
trying to build a life together. That you claim.
He thought that we got past it, but I was still dealing with a lot of hurt and pain. I wanted to make it work for my kids.
But you see, Your Honor, she wanted to make it work for her kids, not for me. So that means she
You
couldn't
wasn't
be.
trying to make it work for me.
So you were in an intimate relationship with Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go back to Mr. Blackman?
Yes, she
Yes.
came back.
I did.
Why did you go back?
Because I loved him. I was not in love with him, but I loved him, and I thought we had a fighting chance.
So you went back at that point, were you faithful to Mr. Blackman?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's shaking his head no.
Well, let's say I don't believe that.
that smirk you did after the statement, I was faithful, did not look truthful.
Thank you.
So what's the truth?
I was not faithful to him because I caught feelings for Triando.
All right. So you weren't faithful to him. You were still sleeping with Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, Your Honor. I was dropping him off at work, dropping the kids off at school, and I was going to be with him for the rest of the day.
So when the van got
And you
stuck,
were intimate with Mr. Stevenson
When
and
the van-
also Mr. Blackman,
Yes, Your Honor. Around the same time.
and you were trying to say Mr. Blackman?
well, I was trying to say that we have a
My-
van that goes
It
out from
broke
time
da-
to time.
it broke
And the
down.
first time it broke down, it needed a fuel pump. Then this like 2-3 days. Then the second time it went out for a
And it
whole
cost
week and a half.
$350.
I'm talking to her on the phone. Why you ain't trying to get home? Oh, I'm worried about somebody stealing the van. I go out there, get a battery, a charge. Didn't have to change nothing. Give a battery a charge, the van start right up.
Oh, so you're saying she got out there and said the van broke down and was out there hanging out and being with Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
but pretending to you she had a breakdown and had no way to get home.
Exactly.
Is this true, Ms. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you find out you're pregnant. Do you tell Mr. Stevenson and Mr. Blackman?
I told both of them.
No, she tried to pass the baby off on me first. She gonna come tell me some mess about we know we can't afford no baby, and they told me I got pregnant in such and such month, and then she tell me the sex of the baby. I look at it and tell you know this ain't my baby. There's no way. She talking about, well, it's a possibility.
Because it is a possibility. We had sex.
All right, so did you tell Mr. Stevenson that he may be the father too?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was his reaction?
He was happy for a minute, and then he just disappeared. He completely disappeared. I didn't hear from him for another 4 or 5 months.
Happy for a minute, then disappeared? Jerome, I think it's time we meet Mr. Stevenson. Please
Hey.
escort him into the courtroom. Mr. Stevenson, thank you for being here. When Ms. Martin told you she was pregnant, what was your initial reaction?
First, I was happy, and then I just disappeared.
She said that. That's exactly what she said. Why did you disappear?
She kept calling me a deadbeat daddy, this and that, that and that. I got tired of listening to
Because
her.
he wasn't there. That's what you was. He brought a used car seat to the hospital.
Who did?
Mr. Stevenson.
Who did? Well, okay, not to be funny, but what's
So
wrong
when
with a
was he at
used
the
car
hospital?
It
seat?
had stains all over it. Like,
When was he at the hospital? So what he been to the hospital?
yeah, he came to the hospital.
This is news to you, huh, Mr.
After
Black?
the baby,
God,
after the baby
on my
was
children's
born, he
life.
came to the hospital.
I ain't never know this man came to no hospital.
After the baby was born, me, my mother, and my granny,
Well, what part? What you forgot to tell me that part, huh?
No, I didn't think it was important.
You didn't think it was important
No.
because of what?
Hold on. She said she didn't tell you that part because she didn't think it was important.
Nobody stepped up. He was there, but he had to go back home to the kids. After I had the baby, Mr. Stevenson came. He was just like, oh, well, I want a DNA test, and he want the baby to have his name, but he didn't want to sign a birth certificate. But drilling me about a last name or a name, and I gave him Blackman. My baby name is Ramir Jeremiah Blackman.
So you gave him Mr. Blackman's last name.
Because of
Jerome,
some
please
pressure
hand
from
me that
somebody.
evidence she has.
And nobody
Jerome,
signed the
hand me
birth
that.
certificate. My name is the only one on there.
Well, you want to give your
Yeah,
child
so why
a
are
name.
you so stuck on giving him my name then? I mean, you just told me I did the exact same thing he
That's a
did.
fair question, Miss Martin. Why his name?
Because I thought the baby was his.
In your heart, you thought it was his.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Blackman, do you believe Ramirez your baby? Mr. Blackman, do you believe Ramirez your baby?
Your Honor, it's a possibility.
Well, it's a possibility. Then why do you treat him like crap?
Ms. Martin, how does he treat Ramir differently?
He don't touch him. He won't even look at him. Like, if he in the same room, he just acts totally blank. If the baby start crying and I step out the room, he sending the kids, tell your mama to come get that baby.
Your Honor,
My
it's
daughter,
true.
my daughter is 4. She told him to his face, like, why are you treating that baby? Why are you treating the baby like this, Daddy? Get your baby. Hold your baby. Why are you doing my mommy like this?
All right, now listen. Mr. Blackman, I'm trying to understand, are you truly treating this child poorly?
If you compare it to the way I treat my other children, yes.
All right, so Ms. Martin, you've brought a witness. Please stand, ma'am, and state your name.
My name is Gloria Blackman. I'm Mr. Blackman's sister.
Here as Ms. Martin's witness.
My brother, he's so far wrong. That's a baby. As far as I'm concerned, neither one of them did anything. I did everything from the day the baby was born to right now.
So, Ms. Blackman, let me ask you, do you believe Ramir is your biological nephew?
I do. I think he looks like the child, the youngest before him. I think he looks just like him. I think he has my brother's nose. And
I see it makes you very emotional just to talk about the child.
Well, it's like, I feel so hurt for both of them. They just like, it's crazy.
But
She
it's
got
not my fault.
What?
I didn't tell her don't lay with this man.
But
so
you treated me like crap. You cheated 1,000,001 times, Rail.
It's still about the baby, though, Rail.
Women around my kids.
It's still
my
about the
kids
baby.
coming
It's
telling
still
me
about
how
the
they
baby.
sleeping in the bed with you and another woman.
And I can't.
So how do you think that made me feel?
Oh,
Mr.
and
Blackman.
I didn't know that. And you know what? He's acting hard. He loves this woman and he just fronting. It's gonna kill him and it's breaking my heart for both of them because I love them so much and they have such beautiful 4 children together. And it's just, this stuff is just, it's killing me.
All right, Ms. Blackman, thank you so much for your
You're
testimony.
welcome.
You may be seated. Now, Mr. Stevenson, have you been around at all since the baby's been born?
She won't even bring him around me. I seen them twice. At the hospital when she came to my house probably a week later. Other than that, I haven't seen
You
her,
took the
period.
baby to the man's house?
She
He
sure
needed a
did.
father. You didn't want to be there.
She sure did.
So she brought the baby to your house.
Yes, ma'am.
And then after that, what happened?
He started denying them all over again after he bragged, my baby's this, my baby's that.
Because at the same time, she
pictures
started
and-
calling me a deadbeat
Because
dad.
what
I
were
got
you
tired
doing?
of it.
What were you doing? You didn't do
And
anything.
then
Came up
she
to the
texted my
hospital
phone and tell
empty-handed.
me the baby ain't showing no weight.
Ms. Martin, from where I sit, it does sound like you perhaps have been playing both sides of this equation when it's convenient for you.
That's not true.
Listen,
That's not true.
If
That's
both
not
of these
true.
men could be
Because-
your child's father, and you had them both at the hospital, and you've let them both spend time with the child since he was born, why don't they both understand that?
well,
And
he
you're
was living-
only suing one of them.
Because he treated me like crap, and he was the reason I had to leave my house. Because it was too stressful for me. And I feel like he owed me for moving expenses in my bills and everything.
You were suing for $3,100.
Yes, Your Honor. Until I'm able to get up on my feet, being that we do have these other kids together.
What's getting me is that you standing here suing Mr. Blackman,
Suing
but
Mr.
you mad at
Blackman.
Mr. Stevenson because he brought a used car seat up, look, for a baby that he wasn't even sure was his.
And I told him he could have kept it. I left it there where it was.
Well, for a woman with so much nerve that you can tell people to take their car seat and take their this, why don't you have enough money to move yourself and you got to rely on his sister to pay for your child that you lay down and made with 2 different men and don't know who the father is, and you sitting up here talking about they not man enough to do this, and he not man enough to do this, when you not woman enough to know that when you lay down with men and have a baby and don't know which one's the daddy, you the one that's going to be responsible till you figure out who's the daddy. Now, we got an arbitration. You suing this man, got all the receipts, every receipt. Because you've been through this before.
And he got what he needed.
Hold on.
Not
He
from
got
you.
what he needed. From whom?
Ms. Blackman.
Thank you.
Traitor.
And that's why I said
And
the
it
money.
sounds like to me, if there's somebody here that needs to be filing suit, it's Miss Blackman. Your case is dismissed. And the worst part about it is the only people that have truly paid for these mistakes is Ramir and Miss Blackman. Because he's a baby and he's not getting treated right because the man that he was living with doesn't know if he's the father, so he's treating him like that baby, which is wrong, dad wrong,
I ain't want
all
my
the
kids
way
to
wrong.
see that,
No,
Your
be
Honor.
quiet, I'm sick of all of you. wrong. Now, this one over here, he comes up to the hospital trying to offer something. It ain't good enough.
Because it wasn't.
He tried. He doesn't know if the child is his or not. He's trying to figure it out. You call him a deadbeat. This ain't good enough. Next thing you know, he's gone. You're jeopardizing your son being able to have a father.
Ain't nobody done nothing. Like, ain't near one of them stepped up, period.
Hold on. You gotta understand that the only reason why you were in that situation was because why? Why?
Because I put myself in that
That's
situation.
it. That's it. Let's go to the results.
And I teach you that too, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Martin versus Blackman Stevenson, and whether Rael Blackman or Triando Stevenson is Ramirez's father, Mr. Stevenson, you are his father.
Huh?
Come here. I know you trying to be strong. You stop it. Okay? Be all right, okay? Promise me you're gonna be all right. Be all right, Rael, please. Be all right. I'm sorry, you all.
Mr. Blackman.
Yes, Your Honor. My kids, they the one gonna be affected by this. You know? I just want this to be over with.
Mr. Stevenson, how do you feel?
I feel okay. I know the results now. That's all I was waiting on.
And I hope you understand that your son has been under...
He's destroyed the family. That's what he needs to understand, Your Honor. Please make him understand that.
She destroyed your family.
But you lay down with it. Y'all sit there and talked about me.
Oh, well.
Keep it real, though.
If we're gonna keep it real, let me tell you something. You all can dish it out, but you sure can't take it. You can't take it. Now, you have cheated and done your thing, and you know it. You didn't deny it when she said it, and I'm not saying she's right. But you got a taste of your own medicine now, and it's brutal. All of you have had a part to play in this mess, and all of you have to figure out how to clean it up for Ramirez's sake. The court will offer counseling for you, and we are going to refer you to more resources in your home state, because this is not going to be overnight. Whether you like it or not, you're his village. Figure out how to make it work. Are we clear?
Yes.
Court is adjourned.